But tomorrow we're going to have Canes action right here on 99.9 The Fan. It's an 8 o'clock puck drop in Nashville, and I really hope the Carolina Hurricanes use this last 3 days, including today, as a break to really reset themselves because they are struggling right now in more ways than one. Yeah, we've talked about the goaltending. We're going to get into the goaltending a little bit later on in the show today. We've talked a lot about the goaltending, and they still need to make a move. They still need to make a move in net because Pyotr Kochetkov looked kind of tired, I guess you can say, lack of a better term. Rob Brind'amour described it as, we've been riding him a lot lately over the last several games. When they sent Antti Raanta down, the Carolina Hurricanes sent goalie Antti Raanta through waivers down to Chicago, the American Hockey League. It was Yaniv Peretz. They recalled from the ECHL, which is the equivalent of like AA. So there's the NHL, the top level. The next level is the AHL. Below that is the ECHL. So he jumped all the way from the ECHL all the way up to the NHL to back up Kochetkov, and he was only there just in case Kochetkov got hurt or you needed to just put him in for a moment for whatever reason. That's the reason why Peretz was there. So, yeah, they've had to ride Kochetkov a lot. He was hot. Up until the game against the Islanders, the dude was hot. In the 5 games previous that he played, he was 3-0-2, the 2 losses coming via shootout. We had a save percentage of, I think it was regularly, .949. Like, he was unreal. He was great. But in front of him on Saturday against the Islanders, wasn't really that good. Overall, wasn't that great. I think the Canes really needed a break to kind of mentally reset. And Rob Brind'amour, the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, was asked after Saturday's game against the Islanders, where does he assess where the team is right now going into this holiday break?
I think we've played better than our record. I think probably deserved more points out of some of this stuff, but we haven't done it, so we're in a tough spot.
Rob Brind'amour said the key thing right there, they haven't done it. Yeah, they've been close. You look back at the last 15 games for the Carolina Hurricanes. I know when Paul Ehander was sitting in for Adam Gold earlier today, he went back the last 13. I'm going the last 15 games. So I'm going the day after Thanksgiving up till now. So from holiday to holiday. So the Friday after Thanksgiving when they played against the Columbus Blue Jackets, all the way up through that Islanders game. So 15 games. 6 wins, 5 losses in regulation, 4 losses in overtime or shootout. 6-5-4. So only 6 wins in the last 15 games. Now I get it. 4 of those losses were either overtime or shootout. You flip those 4, you're looking at 10-5. Feels a lot different, doesn't it? 10-5 feels a heck of a lot different. And shootouts are hard because shootout really is a skills competition because the 65 minutes of hockey that you played doesn't change. It's not like you went back and all of a sudden just one magic play and things are done. Those 65 minutes were the exact same. Whether you win in a shootout or you lost, those 65 minutes were the same. It's just a skills competition. But they've lost the last 2 skill competitions, including against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Thursday last week, and then on Sunday last week against the Washington Capitals. So that's where this team sits right now. The last 15 games, so right after Thanksgiving till now, 6 wins, 5 losses in regulation, 4 in overtime/shootout. During that stretch of 15 games, they've scored 47 goals and they've given up 45. You would think, well, you're basically even in goals for and goals against. In those 15 games, you would have won 8 of them. Maybe even 9. Say, for example, you got blown out. Like, for example, they did have a blowout win, 6-2, over the Buffalo Sabres. Things looked really good. They also lost 6-1 to the Edmonton Oilers. Things must have felt pretty good when you won 6-3 against the Vegas Golden Knights. We also gave up 6 goals against the Nashville Predators in a game where Antti Raanta last started for the Canes. Which, by the way, speaking of Antti Raanta, the Carolina Hurricanes recalled Antti Raanta from Chicago of the AHL. He started 2 games with the Chicago Wolves. 2. Gave up 3 goals in each of those 2 games. So 6 goals total. 3 in the first and 3 in the second. So I don't know if that's going to just solve things, but Carolina is on the road at Nashville tomorrow. Then they're right back at home the next day, Thursday, at PNC Arena against Montreal. And then they have another game on Saturday. They have 3 games in 4 days. Kochetkov ain't going to be able to start all 3 of those games. Just can't. So do you go with Kochetkov tomorrow in Nashville to give him the extra day to get ready for Saturday's game? Or do you let him start at home the second day of the back-to-back? I don't know. My guess is you start Kochetkov the second day of a back-to-back. But nonetheless, there's a lot this team has to figure out.